Hey, Anton.
Yeah, Margaret?
You know what people don't talk about enough?
What?
The following statement contains spoilers for Season 2 of Young Royals. Stop your feed right now. Wait, wouldn't it be Season 3 of Young Royals?
Oh yeah, Season 3 of Young Royals.
Season 3 of Young Royals. Stop your feed right now if you have not seen the end of Season 2, Episode 6.
Or The First Look, which is what this episode's about. Oh, Season 3.
When Simon says mom. Welcome to People Don't Talk About Young Royals. I'm Margaret. My pronouns are they, them.
And I'm Anton. My pronouns are he, they.
And we're people here to discuss the show our friends are sick of hearing us talk about.
Don't send this podcast to people who haven't seen Young Royals. We're moving on. Margaret, what are we talking about today?
Today we'll be discussing the latest production news for the upcoming third and final season of Young Royals. Specifically, we're talking about the first look of Season 3 that dropped yesterday. What was the date yesterday? The 17th of October. And
Yes.
the 6 seconds that was on the 16th of October.
Yes. Which is all part of the same thing. It's part of the same full scene. But yeah. Anyways, the nature of this episode being bonus content directly related to the plot of the show means that unlike all other episodes of our podcast, we will not restrict ourselves when it comes to spoilers. Anything both of us have watched is fair game, and we have both seen up through Season 2, Episode 6, and The First Look. We repeat, this episode could and likely will, it definitely will, contain spoilers for the entire show up to Season 2, Episode 6, and The First Look. You have been triply warned.
All
right. So something that I thought would be fun, especially for the amount of time, and of course I thought it would be fun because of how much I've made my brand on this podcast being that I watch a lot of reaction content, is that it won't be it won't be a first watch, to use reactor lingo, but it will be an honest reaction in real time to the first look from Margaret and I, who we both have seen it, but like how I'm imagining this working, and you guys, and I have no control over what you do, listener, but pull it up on YouTube right now on another device, and find a way to listen to us and to the video at the same time.
That's gonna be chaotic as fuck. I'm so excited for them.
And we're gonna tell you when I press play. Let's see if this works. I love how it immediately starts. We didn't even get an ad or anything. Alrighty.
Can we full screen this bad boy?
Oh yeah.
Thank you. I need to see his face in all of its glory.
Alrighty. Okay. I am pressing play on the first look of Season 3, entitled Young Royals, Season 3, / first look clip, / Netflix. That was,
It was really good, thank you.
Yeah, I'm just being dramatic at this point, but
we love to see it.
What else is new? Anyways, 3, 2, 1, go. That look on his face.
He looks so happy.
We can't either, babe. We can't either.
I'd love to pull up a side-by-side of, like, Season 1, Episode 1, him in the palace. Season 3, Episode 1, him in the palace.
Mm-hmm.
Or whatever episode this will be in.
Yeah. The way they look at each other, I don't.
Simon's a cheeky bastard.
Yeah. Here's Simon the Bold coming back to use our own
No,
terminology.
honestly. Mom.
I've seen so many Tumblr posts about They Won't Start Without Us. Simone.
I need you to know that so you texted me this when I was at work to tell me that like this had dropped. And I was sitting my ass in the break room and audibly gasped. And I think I watched it about 8 times during that lunch break. And I got home and I was like, I need to know if the AO3 authors have already gotten on this shit because I need that in my life right now. And they had, and it did not disappoint, let me tell you. And I've never been prouder.
Yeah, I mean, as one could probably tell if you follow our Instagram, I spend a lot of time in Young Royals hashtags. And when the trailer dropped, I was about to go into therapy. So I couldn't watch it because I had no way of like I did not have headphones with me because I saw it in the literal waiting room.
That's so
at
tragic.
my therapist's office. So I basically was like, okay, I had to I went to other tags that I follow on Tumblr that aren't Young Royals related, and then literally reached the end of them because I also look at those pretty frequently. And I was like, what do I do now? And thankfully I only had like 30 seconds of panic before my therapist came and we started the appointment. But like it was like, I was like, my one recourse from not seeing the millions of people, not literally, because this podcast wouldn't be called People Don't Talk About if it was actually millions of people. But like,
how many people have watched that? Like, how many views does it have though? Look, take a little gander.
It has 328,000 views.
And I would be willing to bet about 8,000 of those are mine. If YouTube counted the amount of times you rewind to watch the same like 4 seconds over and over again, if YouTube counted that and they could see the amount of times that I rewound from the 30-second mark back to the 25-second mark, just back and forth, they'd be like, this kid is not okay. And I think it would probably be about 500,000 views at that point.
Don't mind me. I'm just watching it with the sound off.
And you're not letting me do it?
I stopped screen sharing.
That's so disrespectful.
Something I just I'm already attacking this with a people don't talk about level of detail.
Let's have it.
And like, I'm just like, we're gonna cover the scene eventually. Is the thing that's like feels really weird about these episodes now that we've officially gotten season 3 content. Like, we're now officially talking about stuff that like we're gonna talk about again.
Yeah.
Which, fucking wild, man.
It is fucking wild.
But like that's part of why we wanted this. We like didn't want to wait to start this podcast. Because it's like we wanted to be here for the hype, essentially.
We did.
And like
we wanted to be here so that when Margaret pees their pants in the aquarium break room.
But I will share again, and I have the sound off. But okay, a thing that I was seeing. Okay, one, there's like let's literally, let's fucking do this. Let's break down it like beat by beat.
Yeah, let's fucking do it.
Like, this is bonus content. What the fuck do you want from us?
This bonus episode is gonna be longer than some of our character episodes.
Yeah, and if the sound sounds ass, it's because this was so long I didn't want to edit it with the same rigor as I do regular episodes. So don't come for me.
And it's also because I didn't check my audio setup before we started recording, and I'm too far in now.
No, yeah, I mean neither did I. It was fine.
Great.
I mean we've been good. We've been recording other episodes, so it shouldn't have randomly switched. Okay, but we start with Wilhelm in the doorway in the palace, which is a thing people caught literally from the 6 seconds, which I'm so impressed by. because I was doubting myself.
Nah, dude.
Like I was like, I would
Homie,
love for that to
no.
be true, but like I didn't see enough because it
That
was
is
so
the
close up in that
palace.
6 seconds. Well, I see it now, obviously, but it's like the 6 seconds what like gave us mostly just their faces. And if you didn't catch the 6 seconds, it's the end of Netflix's episode. I think it was celebrating like sophistication, Heartstopper, etc., etc. And then they just stuck a 6 second clip of Young Royals season 3 at the end.
That was so fucking bold.
It really was.
They knew what they were doing, and
I cannot tell if it is like a place of honor or disrespect. Like I don't.
I mean,
Like,
I didn't think about it like that, but
I guess in all fairness, like I'm like, okay, if we're comparing season 2 releases to this, season 2 we got what was definitively like the first 4 minutes, which we were probably supposed to still get, I would think, because that's seems to have been a thing. The first 4 minutes, of the first episode, that's a thing that we got for season 2, and it's what they've been doing for a lot of their shows in the Young Royals vein.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just a little slow to the uptake there. Yes, I am with you now.
No, yeah. And so I guess, in fairness, if they do the first 4 minutes, then we will have gotten more content before the trailer than we got last time.
No, because the first 4 minutes of the season, fuck me.
Yeah, because the last time the first thing we saw of season 2 was the first 4 minutes, which makes me think.
Wait, is this going to be the first 4 minutes?
Oh, I doubt it. Oh, there's no way.
Well, no, I'm scared.
This does not start like the first 4 minutes, and it would say the first 4 minutes if it was. It's a first look. Like I'm not even sure if this is an episode 1.
Okay, well now I'm scared because if this is the first 4 minutes, that means it doesn't start. Like we don't see them in Hilarska.
No, I do not think it's. I am fairly certain it is not the first 4 minutes.
I fucking. I'm gonna have a conniption.
I'd take that back. I think this actually is episode 1. Is my thing.
I feel like it would be episode 1, but I feel like it would be like halfway through episode 1.
Yeah,
because it's like don't imagine the queen. Because again, with
our hopes of it,
Hilarska.
Yeah, like with our hopes of like starting where we left off.
Please.
Like this is exactly the situation we thought was going to happen, what we wanted to happen, which is like getting Simon to the palace, which like, of course, was going to happen.
Oh, big time.
Like it's like
Wilhelm
the damage control of it alone. Like, okay. A thing we need to keep clarifying is a thing that I think is probably going to need to be reminded. A lot of reactors are going to need to be reminded of, is that it's edited. He wasn't live on television.
That's true.
That's why they were like, well, I mean, they were like, cut the cameras, but like, it's for a year with the royal family. Mm-hmm. What's actually, it wasn't on live television, but it was videos that people took probably that got released online. Like that's how it got leaked, probably more than likely. Which, okay, I just thought about this, given the fact how like on the distribution of online video has played a part in this story. Mm-hmm. The fact that like that is how he is coming out. Mm-hmm.
Doesn't make you want to scream a little?
A little.
Yeah.
Like there's so many things that you could say that says. Like it's so
I'm with you. You know what else I'm a little the way that you paused it right there. It's fucking
which is I'm at
5 seconds. It's just
yeah. Yeah.
Typically, when we podcast, I'm looking at you because I'm just talking to you.
Yeah.
I'm looking at at your YouTube screen.
Art of the frame. But okay. I'm realizing. Thankfully I said this off pod because I would have been wrong. Like this is just his season 2 hair. Mm-hmm. Like I think off pod I said like it was a bit longer. No, it's not.
No, it's not.
It's the same. It's the same length. But then now it's just becoming a theory that I think his hair. I mean, they only recorded over like a course of a couple months, but I think they're gonna let his. I want to say that they're gonna let his hair be a little bit longer again by the end to represent freedom. That's my little theory. That's
how
your
long does your hair really grow over a few months though?
Depends on the person.
That's true.
My hair grows pretty fast.
I
but
have no
pretty
idea.
Thick, like I have pretty thick hair. And so it grows probably like I don't know. I mean, I've been told by hairdressers that my hair grows fast. It's like my hair probably grows like about like a half an inch every 6 to 8 weeks.
God damn.
Yeah, I'm being exaggerating, but I get my hair cut pretty frequently for that exact reason, because it gets like I don't like how it looks after like 5-6 weeks. So
this is the first time in my life my hair has ever been short, so I can report back. Because when your hair is like mid back, it doesn't look any different.
No, yeah, fair. But we've severely tangented ourselves already
I don't know what
away
you're
from the
talking
first
about.
5 seconds.
Is completely on track. This is a bonus episode.
Yeah, but it's just like, okay, it's like Willa looking somewhere, and then you realize he's looking at Simon, and then Simon is looking in a mirror.
Mm-hmm.
And I already want to do a purple and orange on this one scene. It's also, I'm already connecting it to stuff the listeners would have already heard us analyze in like season 1, episode 2.
Hell yeah.
Not with Simon actually, but with Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
Of before before horror movie night. Yeah, fixing her hair before horror movie night. I'm like, it's an Erickson thing, I guess. Like, but also I think it's just like it is a normie, as
yeah, was this Wednesday?
Yeah. What?
Wednesday?
Yeah, it's a Wednesday. Yeah.
No.
What?
The show on Netflix.
Oh yeah, I know. I haven't seen Wednesday.
You haven't seen Wednesday?
No, that's a different. But what do I think?
Asexual icon.
God.
Fixing the clothes.
Yeah.
Purple.
Yeah, purple. Yeah, purple orange. Like, oh yeah, no, that's what I was saying. For as listeners will hear us call, considering when this episode comes out, you will hear us in Privilege Punishment when it comes out in like 2-3 weeks. 2 weeks. You'll hear us talk about Simon and Sarah as normies. Or like the Sosas. And so like they're being thrust into the national spotlight, which is like Simon especially.
Oh yeah.
It's the one thing that it's like, I mean, and like I've seen so many Tumblr posts about this. Like I cannot say that people haven't talked about this. Simon is being thrust into the limelight, which is the thing he wanted at the end of season 1, but he didn't know it was coming when he actually got it at the end of season 2.
Yeah.
Which is just excellent writing. I'm just really
on the screen?
Like, I'm just hoping the execution is exactly what we're imagining, which I'm pretty sure like it will be.
It's either going to be what we're imagining or better.
Well, yeah, it usually is probably better. It's
definitely going to be better. Let's be honest here.
Yeah. And so it's like, no, yeah, like I've seen so many things being like, can't wait for Simon to realize that this, like, being publicly out with a public figure, like, isn't all it's cracked up to be, and have Simon be the one for whom it's harder than Willa. Which I don't think is going to be actually true, but I think it's going to be hard for them in different ways. And Simon's not going to be expecting it, but Willa is, because he's been thinking about it for months.
Yeah.
Of what this would look like.
Yeah.
Like, he's probably been catastrophizing about it, but I feel like now that he's done arguably the hardest part, I feel like everything that is less than his worst imaginings, I think, is going to get him gaining confidence.
Oh, yeah, big time.
Which we already see in this scene.
Oh, big time.
Like, again, I think I said right at the end of our little reaction section, like, so many, I already seen Tumblr posts about who is this boy who said they're not going to, they can't start without us.
I'm so proud of him. Because season 1 Wilhelm would never.
No, that's exactly what Tumblr has been saying. Like.
It's really what I said to you the first time I watched it through. I was like, season 1 Wilhelm would never.
Yeah. And so, I don't know. Like, the fact that they chose this for the first look, I'm like, smart in so many ways. Literally, I don't even know. I haven't seen the rest of season 3, but I can tell you this is probably the perfect first look.
Oh my god, I'm gonna piss my pants when season 3 drops.
Because it's like, you get exactly what we've been wanting.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know your audience at a certain at a certain point. Like, this shows a knowledge of the audience that, like, Young Royals has basically always had.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like, from season 2 at least. Because
except for the promo for season 2 where they were saying Team Marcus. I didn't like that.
we've been fully delved into our Marcus feelings on a bonus ep, but
I hate him.
That's
my full feelings.
So no, yeah, that's a different discussion for another day.
Yeah, fuck him. He's not here.
And I don't think, because someone did send us the cast list, and I don't think he was on it.
Woo.
For the entire season. So,
was Mika?
Yes. And so was August's stepdad, but not his mom.
You told me all this. I forgot. So this is like first time information all over again.
Yeah. No, but to my point of this being like probably like the perfect first look clip is like we're setting up dynamics that I can easily see playing out throughout the rest of the season, because you have Villa with more confidence than we've ever seen from him.
Oh yeah. I mean,
arguably, because we literally have, like, a week ago filmed an episode called Wilhelm the Reckless.
Yeah,
so
we
like,
did.
The thing is, and it's something we talk about in that episode, and like we can carry forward, is like, and we will carry forward in every character episode about Wilhelm from now until we talk about whatever this episode is like, recklessness is always a part of him.
Oh yeah, big time. Because
he's just a person with a lot of feelings, and a repressed upbringing. That means that he doesn't know how to process them.
Who actually knows how to process feelings, though? Let's be real for a second.
Well, yeah. I mean, everyone. I mean, if you believe Freud and other psychoanalysts, everybody represses.
Isn't Freud the one that's like?
Well, yeah. But other people took a lot of his stuff and were like, not all the horny shit, but like a lot of the other stuff.
So they took an ace look at Freudism.
Yeah. One of the most maddening things about my profession is and will always be that a lot of early queer theory owes itself to Freud.
Yeah.
Not necessarily directly, but like the idea of repression did a lot for understanding how to read queerness into text where it isn't explicit. That's a different discussion, though. But
in true bonus content nature, we are completely off track.
Here we are talking about Freud. How do we even talk about Freud?
I don't know. Let's just get back to...
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Let's get back to what we're here for.
Yeah. So repression, psychology. Yeah, with Wilhelm, like, as a person who has had trouble processing his feelings, he's acted impulsively when he hasn't.
I don't know what you're talking about. All he's done is threaten to abdicate on Instagram Live and then come out at a jubilee about the royal family. That's not impulsive. That's just vibing, dude.
Yeah. But okay, I think something that I will maybe have to argue with my past self about now that I think about it is that even down to holding Simon's hand at horror movie night, I would argue a lot of his impulsivity is he's impulsive in the way a lot of anxious people are impulsive, in the sense that I have thought about this every moment for every day in some subconscious or semi-conscious capacity for weeks at least, and then you just do it.
Oh yeah, big time.
Like I don't know about you. I think we've talked about your coming out story, but that's how my coming out to my parents went.
Mine was an accident.
Oh yeah, we talked about this.
We talked about this on mic.
Mine, I was working on a summer assignment for AP Language and Composition about Henry David Thoreau's Walden, and was like,
you had summer assignments?
Yeah, we did.
That sucks.
AP classes. Yeah. For pretty much all AP classes, we had a summer assignment. And I was like in the middle of answering a question of the big giant worksheet we had to do and I was like getting writer's block for no fucking reason. And then I was like, what is my problem with this question? I'm like, oh, my problem isn't with this question, it's the fact that I haven't come out to my parents. So then I got up from our home computer, turned around, walked to my parents' bedroom, and came out.
Wait, that's how you did it?
Yeah.
You were just like, fuck it, I gotta finish this homework assignment?
Yes. I was like, I can't. Apparently, it's been occupying my thoughts so much that I can't I can't move forward without letting this out. I
really respect that. It's just not the story I was expecting.
No, but like
that's fucking remarkable. Thank you so much, bestie.
No, yeah, and that's honestly that's kind of just been my metric for coming out from then on yeah, is just like if I oftentimes I people please until I can't anymore. Too real?
That was fucking hilarious. No, that was not too real. That was amazing. I also do
and my line is just getting different to like how much I'll tolerate. Anyways, but like, so with that saying, looking way ahead to the main episodes of our podcast, I relate to Villa in the sense that I feel like, I mean, especially season 2, like we saw him coming up against the idea of coming out over and over and over and over and over again until literally we saw the moment he couldn't hold it in anymore.
Yeah, he was just like, fuck it. I have to. I have to. And honestly, like, never been prouder.
Honestly, until this moment, I am realizing that because of like the insanity of the situation, I didn't realize until now, Wilhelm's coming out is the most relatable coming out to me that I've seen.
You know what? You're actually right, and I would have never put that. Like, I would have never, like, pegged that because of the, like, literal, like, event that he comes out at. But
yeah,
you're kind of right there.
Like, I mean, it's like we keep talking about our Wilhelm Stan episodes that we've done so far. It's like the things that we love about Wilhelm are the ways in which he's relatable, and like even though it is kind of very few things, but a lot of what is relatable is the feelings that go into it. Maybe not the situation, but the feelings that are at play.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea of being like, I don't know how this is gonna go, and thinking about it incessantly, and then just not being able to like hide anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Big time.
And so now, connecting back to the topic of this episode, we see newly out Villa, and like Margaret and I have already talked about this over text. Like, I see a freedom in his movements like I have never seen before. And I'm like, that's being out, baby.
So true.
Like, I feel like even in our current episode, like in episodes we've already recorded, I've mentioned like how in season 1, like he's like, he bears himself like a prince.
Mm-hmm.
And like he like is and like even around Simon, he's like ramrod straight in his posture and like is walking in a very stately manner.
Which, to be fair, if you press play right now, he does do, but it feels different.
It does. Like, I don't know. I need to find the specific moment. I think it's around. I think it has to be around like, oh, they can't stop without us.
Yeah.
Like around 106.
Yeah, at
like
106, I fully agree. At
yeah,
second 15 or whatever it is. I don't know. I'm guessing here.
No, yeah. Well, I mean, it's like,
when he's walking up.
Yeah, as we talked about the pod, talked about on the pod before, like you have press training that like trains you in posture and everything, and etc. And so this letting go, even in this private moment, and being able to be casual, like I'm realizing now, like until this moment, I don't think I've ever considered Wilhelm to be a casual person.
The one time where he wasn't wearing socks and his feet were up on the desk, that was pretty casual.
Okay, when he's alone, okay, I'll accept that. But like around other people, he is never casual because he's always thinking about what he's gonna say, like and like what thing, and he's always like thinking about. He's always been thinking about his next move and like how things are gonna play and like what his actions are going to have wider implications, because he's been taught from birth to think of the implications, and to just being like, they can't start without us. We'll just do what we want. Like, we started seeing that in season 2, like these little rebellions. But the fact that it's starting to be kind of integrated into like like his daily. I mean, this is probably very much extenuating circumstances and like not a normal part of their day to day. But like the fact that like he's just like slipping back into the things that he was doing very impulsively, but now is just kind of doing a second nature of like.
Can we watch this again? Can you rewind it and just let it play?
Yeah. As long as you are premised to listen while we're talking, and
I promise I'm listening and not just looking at Edvin. I can multitask.
But
apparently you can't multitask.
Well, I was checking the length of the episode, Margaret. Someone has to edit this one. I'm kidding.
And it's not me.
But Simon looking around at the palace. It's everything I wanted. I was just being like, God damn, you live like this, but like affectionate, or like not affectionate, but like
the opposite of queen derogatory is goddamn you live like this, affectionate.
like I don't know. I think it's also in its own way, it's showing growth for Simon. Because in a way that I think some people might not be necessarily happy about necessarily, because it's like, I know there are a lot of people who really relate and want to connect with Simon's like leftist leanings and the ways in which like he is anti-monarchy, anti-nobility. But the fact that I feel like he's kind of just like looking around and looking at this as like, oh, this is my boyfriend's home, there's something beautiful about that to me. And there's an argument to be made by some people who are not me, that like he's sacrificing his morals for the D. I don't know. Or like,
are we going to trigger warn sex again? Have you been trigger warning sex?
If it's like repeated, like right. I think it's like, I think that one will fly, because we already labeled these episodes explicit.
That is true.
I'll trigger warning like sexual acts if there's like something very specific we're talking about, but like that wasn't it. But
sacrificing morals for the D is not a sexual act.
I don't think so, because I'm not just describing a literal sexual act. And in all fairness, I trigger warning that specifically for like sex repulsed asexuals. Like that's the idea behind it. Like not many podcasts trigger warning sexual mentions of sexual content, but I do. Like
that's for me.
Yeah.
Except I'm the one who gets the uncensored version.
Yes.
I have this theory. This is so not related.
I do want to get back to my point about Simon.
Go back to your point about Simon. I can tell you this off mic because it's so out of left field.
Okay. Because I just want to like emphasize. I just want to ask you, like,
yeah,
what is your take on my idea of Simon sacrificing morals for the D? Like,
I don't think he's sacrificing morals.
No, yeah, like it's a hard line to walk. I can understand between like empathizing with other people and or like trying to see them on their like from their perspective or like on their own level, and like sacrificing or conceding ground in your own like personal political beliefs.
Yeah, it's not like Wilhelm looked at him and went, okay, now you have to be a monarchist.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's not what happens. So he's not sacrificing morals.
Yeah. He's... And it's... Because it's like... But like, I'm talking about... What I started this conversation talking about his growth. Like, about Simon's growth. Like, imagine season 1, episode 1 Simon.
We all know who the biggest welfare receivers are, Simon.
Well, yeah. Walking into this fucking palace.
Yeah.
And being like, gauche. Like, that's... like, or like, cringe. Like, this is... like...
Well, now... he's dating the crown prince instead of just being like, who's this fucking guy who got in a fight and now has to go to my school?
Yeah. Like, I think an element of the show that has always been a bit thorny for a subsection of people is like facilitating communication between Wilhelm and Simon means crossing a lot of literal class divides,
mm-hmm.
and like understanding each other's point of view.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember post season 1, I was seeing a lot of stuff griping about how Wilhelm didn't do that for Simon, but I wasn't seeing that about Simon not doing that for Wilhelm, which also happened. Like,
yeah, which like happened just as much.
And it's like, yes, we have to keep saying it. Yes, Wilhelm is in a privileged position, but it's also a punishment. How many times can we say this? Like,
I'm telling you, we need a drinking game. I don't drink, but I think we should start a drinking game. And it's you talking about reaction videos, and us saying it's a privilege and a punishment.
It's like I start this,
and then me saying, "Can I tell you a secret?"
And I like start this conversation every time because it just fascinates me. Because it's like, I don't really agree, but I also that where people could get that reading. Like, if like you're prioritizing certain things over other things, or like seeing it in a certain way, it's like, yeah, like Simon has like multiple marginalized identities working against him that does make his life undisputably harder than Wilhelm's, who he would never have to struggle as much as Simon does. But doing the struggle Olympics is not helpful.
No.
I cannot think of a situation in which it is productive.
It's never productive.
And so what we're seeing here is two people who really like each other, who are finally after 2 seasons, like,
I think this might be the longest we've seen them happy consecutively.
And the video is like 1.5 minutes.
I don't have numbers on that. That's probably wrong. I can think of at least one scene where I know that to be false, but
yeah. Well, I think every
but in the scene that I'm thinking of, that I can actually tell you because it's a fucking bonus episode and I can spoil. We were watching August fucking filming them.
I would say every pre, para, and post sex scene.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can, like, it was probably all together, Well, and each one has like probably been longer than this.
I don't know if you dabble in like compilations on YouTube.
Occasionally I have. Like, it's really before. It
cracks me up how short theirs are, and then you go watch like any other ship of like a same like length series. It's like 20 minutes, and theirs is like 4.
Yeah. But one thing I think that does distinguish this scene, based on everything we talked about before, is that I feel like it's the longest we've had them happy in dialogue, possibly. Or at least this level of happy.
Yeah.
Because it's like, again, like, if we're comparing these to, like, to their sex scenes, like, there's no dialogue in that. And it's like, my first immediately thought was the Tumblr post that I saw like either today or yesterday, that it's like, don't even it was like something like, don't even talk to me about the fact that both Simon and Wilhelm's love language is touch.
Why did you have to bring that up? Now I'm gonna get emotional and worked up.
And I don't know fully if if I honestly think Simon's is more words of affirmation. But that's not
at least with Wilhelm it's touch.
Oh, Wilhelm is definitely touch. I think I would definitely buy that Simon's like secondary love languages is touch, like based on the model that is like understood, which I know like does have like flaws.
I don't feel like his would be words of affirmation though, because when have we ever seen him do that?
No, like getting words of affirmation from others.
Oh, do I not know how love languages work?
Well, because you have I think it's like you have a receptive and you have a like how you show love, I think, is how it's usually understood. And usually when I think of someone's love language, I think of how they receive love.
Okay. I think the way that Simon shows love is through touch.
Yeah, I can get behind that. Yeah. Well, yeah, shows love, yeah. But in terms of how he processes love, I think it's words of affirmation.
All right.
But that's kind of a shot in the dark. But like, I don't know.
Hey, go on bone feel.
Well, I'm just thinking based on, I'm literally largely basing this on Wilhelm drunkly singing "It Takes a Fool to Remain Sane" at the end of the pilot episode. That is true.
No, that's a really good point, and I forgot about that.
Yeah.
And that's an excellent point that you've made right here.
Yeah.
You're so right.
Yeah. But like, so in terms of like them in dialogue, like having shock horror, casual, healthy, non-conflict laden,
nobody's yelling in the music room,
on the same page conversation.
Bonkers. I'm
like,
so excited.
What the fuck is this?
So fucking excited.
Like, we didn't even get that in season 1, episode 5, because they couldn't stop kissing each other.
I am so fucking excited.
But it's like, their relationship has progressed now to an emotional degree that it hasn't had up to this point, that can actually allow them to like have rapport, shock horror, like it's
they can have dialogue.
Like, it does feel like not even before their first kiss did they have this level of rapport. Like, not even when they were nominally friends.
Mm-mm.
Because it's like a thing that does distinguish, I think we've mentioned this before, the thing that distinguishes Wilhelm and Simon from a lot of male-male ships that I've seen in TV shows is that they do technically start off as friends, but they were never actually friends.
I mean, they kiss in the second episode.
Yeah.
I'm not kissing my homies. Are you kissing your homies?
No. This is a bonus episode, so of course I was going to do this to him. In Heartstopper,
yes.
Like,
I was waiting for it.
Yeah, because it's like the same argument can be made possibly of Heartstoppers if they both like were working up to liking each other from the moment like they became friends.
Yeah, but for me, they spent more time actually being friends before.
Exactly. And like Nick identifies Charlie as his friend in dialogue. Mm-hmm. Wilhelm can't even do that for reasons that we all know. at this point. Keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
What about your boyfriends?
And so, like, but like Wilhelm and Simon are a whole other thing where it's like they were just it was an instant chemistry thing.
Mm-hmm.
That it's like I'm not a love at first sight girly, but like I am to an degree like a lust at first sight.
Oh, for sure. I'm a lust at first sight girly.
Like I know, and I know, like not everyone experiences that.
No.
Level attraction in that same.
That's not what we're saying here.
Exactly. I'm talking about that existing as a concept.
Yeah.
And part of lust at first sight, I think, is like that doesn't have to be like sexual attraction only. Like it's like also like a romantic attraction.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's I want to get closer to that person, and I want to like intimately understand them, on a level that it's like that feels deeper than the platonic feelings I feel for my friends.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like I've had like, oh, I want to be friends with that person. Like I've had that kind of instinct immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Like I had that with you.
Aww.
Yeah. I've had that with basically every single friend I've ever had.
That's really sweet.
Because I'm good at reading people.
My first friend I ever made in Wisconsin, because I'm not originally from Wisconsin, was because I met her at the park and I wanted to pet her dog, and I think that's really on brand for me.
I remember, we're not really close anymore, but like there was someone who I like really like bonded with it in a theater arts class my freshman year of high school, and
hell yeah.
I literally like it was like it had to be like the first week of school, maybe in the first day of maybe my first day of freshman year. Like she was like a year older, and I like I turned around in like the aisles of the theater as she was walking down, and like I distinctly remember being like, I want to be friends with that person, and she hadn't even opened her mouth yet, and I don't even know what that was, and I was just like,
love it.
Yeah. And then this also part, I think Margaret heard this part of the story. It wasn't until like 2 years later I found out she was a lesbian.
Oh, hell yeah.
So it's fun.
Hell
yeah. Yeah. But so yeah, so I that's all that goes to say. Wilhelm and Simon were that close, I think. And I think part of being that close, especially when there are like very strong romantic and sexual feelings involved, and one of you is not out, and there's a lot of feelings happening, and a lot of what feels like necessary concealment on both sides, because it's like you don't want to relate to you don't want to like tip the other person off, because if it's like even if they were both out, it would have been stressful, and this is just adding a layer of stress. Mm-hmm. And so it's like that doesn't facilitate healthy and open and honest communication.
No.
And then there's been a lot of hurt on both sides, and now we've come back together.
Mm-hmm.
And I keep saying like on the same page, because I like that phrase. I like that phrasing, because it has always kind of felt like they've both been in two wildly different parts of the journey, and
not even the same book.
Yeah. And it's like, it's tempting to say that Wilhelm finally caught up to Simon, but I think
it goes both ways.
Yeah, I think it's actually fair that they caught up with each other.
I think we have to think bisexually here.
Oh yeah. Because it's like, again, like, we don't know this, but based on every indication we have, I want to say that Wilhelm is Simon's first, like, serious feelings for someone.
Yeah, I feel like he wouldn't have tried to recreate it verbatim with he who shall not be named if he had had relationships before Wilhelm.
Yeah. Or at the very least one as intense.
Yeah.
Like, we don't know what the culture's like at Maryburg. For all we know, it's a gay haven. But let me tell you, as someone who comes from a pretty progressive part of a otherwise conservative state, even gay havens can sometimes be heteronormative as hell, and you also just get not a lot of options. Let's put it that way.
My high school had so many lesbians. I don't know why we were all over the place.
But
Can we talk about the cold open?
Oh, fuck, we didn't. We've gotten this far and we haven't talked about the cold open.
We've been recording for a while and we haven't talked about the cold open. Yeah. So the cold open.
It's because as kind of both of our wants currently in this state of life, I guess. Well, I guess we've been talking about Wilhelm and Simon, but like, okay, now that we've been on Simon for a while, let's really talk about this. Because like I think this is a good what people don't talk about enough. I
was low-key struggling to figure out what people don't talk about because I'm like, this clip is a minute and a half. What could there possibly be that people aren't talking about? But then I'm like...
A single line. A single word.
A single word. Just one word is what I came up with. And it's specifically when they're walking to what I assume is Wilhelm's bedroom.
I didn't even think about that, but I think you were probably right. Because we've never seen that hallway outside of it. Well, wait, yes, we have. So I don't think that's it actually, because I think it's narrower than that. It could be nearby though.
He's walking towards another room.
Yeah.
I would assume that they're going in the direction of his bedroom.
Mm-hmm. Or whatever he wants to show him about how he imagined.
We all saw the dream. Palace. All right, we saw the dream.
Well, yeah. Okay, that's fair. Oh my god, I swear this is not, I don't think this is gonna happen, but like, crack answer, what if they just have sex and then come back to...
Do you understand how many fan fictions are on AO3 of that exact thing right now as we speak?
Well,
Do you understand how many of them I've read? All 4.
Yeah.
Did check again today.
Yeah.
Anyways, Simon says mom, and the reason why I want to talk about this is because this makes me believe that is Linda just in the palace somewhere? Is she alone? Is she having to sit awkwardly having like tea with the queen?
Which I'm like, okay, if we're going with the assumption that this is episode 1, I'm just trying to think of the like talk that goes down when somebody contacts Linda. I don't know,
because she wasn't there,
and it's like, hey,
so Bessie,
your son's life just changed forever again.
Hey Bessie, so you remember Wilhelm? He just
the thing that you briefly thought that you guys could work through once whoever did it got prosecuted is now gonna fully be a part of his life forever.
Yeah, big time. And honestly, he seems kind of happy about it. So
yeah.
You ready to go to the palace or not?
Yeah. And again, I believe I've looked this up. Bjärstad is like 2.5 hours away from Stockholm.
Yeah.
Which is something that is like people definitely don't talk about enough because it's pretty glossed over. Because I mean, people in Sweden know that probably, and people who don't, it's like
the girls who get it. Is that what you're saying right now?
I mean, literally, yes. but it's a thing that like people who haven't looked it up or who aren't from Sweden or like know the geography like wouldn't realize that. But it's like it is a big deal. That's why like Wilhelm just doesn't go to pop to the palace on weekends. Like it's the distance that I think I've said this on the pod before, but it's the distance that I was from home in college.
Yeah.
Exactly, pretty much. So, like, it's the kind of distance that you don't. The trips do kind of have to be special for that to be a thing, especially in Europe. God, especially in Europe. Something that I know after having a European roommate is that drive distances hit different when you're European.
Was he pissed when it was like a 1-hour drive?
He wasn't pissed. He was just baffled. He was just like, who who drives that long to get to somewhere every day? Like, it's like, he just can't fathom it.
He's gonna hate the fact that people in my hometown regularly drive 3 hours to go shopping because we have no stores.
So...
Okay, so Simon says mom.
No, yeah. And, like, I don't know how much we can speculate about the implication of this, but it is something people aren't talking about enough. Because it's like, I was silly and was like, when I heard Simon say mom, my brain got confused and was getting confused for all the times that Wilhelm is called Christina mama, and was thinking he was talking about Christina, which makes no sense. Icky. Because it was coming from Simon. And I was like, because I think when I was just not looking at the subtitles, like, again, like a silly person, because I don't speak Swedish, I think part of me was like hearing in English, your mom, which is not what he says. He just says mom.
Big time. I want to know, is Linda having tea with the queen somewhere? Is Sarah there? Is Linda just chilling in some room somewhere that is just I will say,
if this is episode 1, if this is episode 1, Sarah is definitely not there because we know where Sarah is.
Well, yeah, but we don't know what episode this is in or where in the episode it is.
I guess.
It could have been like, again, oh fuck, we need the entire family ASAP.
But it's like, okay, how, like, again, they do have phones, but it's like, how, I mean, we haven't even gotten to the Sarah of it all, which is like, I don't even know if he mentioned it in our last Coming When episode, because it's so...
The Sarah of it all.
No, because it's like, it's the thing that every reactor hit upon, and I've seen so many Tumblr posts about, which is just like, I mean, there's so many memes being like, Wilhelm came out remembering that Sarah has gone to the police. Like,
yeah. Or are we going to have this incredibly awkward situation where I'm assuming the royal court is going to be involved in these meetings, right? Are we going to have the situation where everybody is sitting waiting for them and they just walk in like very late?
I mean, with Wilhelm saying they can't start without us. Also, I will say, depending on what they can't start, like whatever the thing they can't start without them is, because this is Young Royals, I do think that might be knife twisted a little bit, and they actually can start without them.
Probably.
Because it's
Christina
like,
would love to start a meeting without Wilhelm.
Because part of it is like, unless it's like an expected public appearance or whatever, which, goddamn, that's an alternative. If this isn't episode 1, I think it's episode 2, and it's the thing that they've decided is that they're gonna try to like be fully public with it because they forced his hand, and so they have to like have like a public sit down, like a la episode 1, season 1, episode 1.
Yeah.
And so like that they can't start without them. But if it's like a strategy meeting,
I feel like it's a strategy meeting because I feel like there would be some stylists involved if it was a public appearance.
Oh yeah, I just realized that Simon is literally just wearing his purple hoodie. Never mind.
It's a button down. It's not the hoodie, but yes.
But it's the button down. Yeah.
It's the purple button down. But yes.
Which I guess, I mean, he has his Hilarska suit, but that's probably the fanciest thing he owns. So it's like, this could be him dressing up for like a public experience, honestly.
I don't feel like Christina would let that happen.
No, yeah, they would not let
that happen.
No, yeah. So I think it is a strategy meeting, which that I'm like, okay, Wilhelm, love the attitude, but like, have you not recognized that people have definitely made decisions without you before?
But maybe they're like, we can't do it anymore because clearly this hasn't worked in the past.
Yeah. Well, I think that's like, well, I think he does probably feel a fair amount of power in this scenario, because it's like, he's proven himself so unpredictable.
Yeah.
That like, especially if by now they have heard about August, which depending on how fast things move could have already happened. Like, they're fucked. They have to do whatever Wilhelm says. Like,
and I love that energy that he has created in the studio today. I love it.
Like,
you go, little man.
Yeah. Because they can't start without him because they need to make sure he's on the same page with them.
Yeah, otherwise he'll just do something else impulsive.
Yeah.
I love the fact that Christina was like, "You're impulsive and we don't trust you. We're going to put you in therapy." And Boris was like, "What makes you happy, man?" And he was like, "You're so right, Bessie. I'm going to come out in a very public setting."
Funny you say that. I was just thinking that something I haven't considered about season 3 is hopefully more Wilhelm in therapy. Because it's like, I don't want Wilhelm therapy to end with him coming out. That doesn't...
No, that's not the end of the therapy journey.
That doesn't make sense. Like, and like, okay, I'll understand if for time we have to kind of be like, because there's probably a lot to get through.
Oh, definitely.
Like for time we might be like, oh, I was just in therapy and we don't see Boris. Like I can't remember if he was on the cast list. But because I was just thinking about Boris being proud of him when he came out.
He was so proud.
Is there anything to talk about in this clip still?
I mean, I could talk about him at 25 seconds for the rest of my life.
That?
Mm-hmm.
See, I was surprised you said 25 seconds because it is like a side profile, but I get it.
I love him so much.
No, yeah, it's just like the way that, you know what?
Tell me.
I would love, actually, it wouldn't make sense, but I would love if this is season 3, episode 2, if only for the parallels that this is giving for their first kiss energy a little bit.
Yeah, I agree, but I don't know how that would all
no,
fit together.
I don't think that would play out that way.
But
unless
that
it's
would be fucking baller.
Unless season 1 is really, really spread out on the single day or whatever, which is not gonna happen.
That's like us getting through an episode, them getting through a day.
Yeah, exactly. The slowest Young Royals has ever moved.
6 episodes, 1 day.
No, yeah, but I mean, there are other parallels that are probably going to make this being episode 1 make a lot more sense too. But just the way that Simon is uncertain, and Wilhelm is. I mean,
just the fact that they're back at the palace is a parallel to season 2 and season 1, episode 1 and 2.
Well, yeah. No, yeah, definitely. And it's just I don't know, just the way that Simon is. This is why I really do think it is episode 1. The more we talk about it, because I do get the energy from Simon that oh, I was just not. I was about to say forced out, which is not correct. My boyfriend just decided that he was coming out on national television.
Yeah.
And now we're in this. To a degree that I wasn't.
What does he expect?
See, I don't know if he because he doesn't know things that we know.
I know.
I mean, I know a thing that you've mentioned on previous Coming Wins is that you want someone to find out that he almost advocated.
I want it so bad. Do you understand the things I would do for that to come up casually in one of their strategy meetings and for Simon to just go, hold on?
Because I think it speaks volumes because I don't know. On the one hand, I would like to think that Simon gets how impulsive Wilhelm can be. Because it's did you see the first time you had any sort of physical relationship beyond kissing? Because you initiated the kissing, but season 1, episode 4 was a lot of Wilhelm. And it's
So was season 2, episode 5? Was it 5?
No, that was all Simon. Episode 4, he went out, he sought Wilhelm out.
Yeah, he did, but
Wilhelm
he was just saying
Wilhelm
I'm
thought
not
it was
angry.
hopeless. Yeah, well, Wilhelm thought it was hopeless.
That's
and he
true.
was ready to leave him alone.
Yeah.
Like,
No, he wasn't. He grabbed his hand and said, "What does this mean for us?"
I'm thinking season 2, episode 4.
I'm thinking 5.
The Valentine. Oh yeah, I'm thinking Valentine. I'm thinking Valentine's Ball.
Yeah. But I'm thinking 5.
No, yeah. So they both had their impulsive moment, because it's like, what the fuck is that? Like,
No, honestly though, what the fuck is that? Like, we love to see it. I'm glad it happens. What the fuck was that?
Because that is the night. Honestly, I love Simon, but like that is the nicest thing I can say about his actions in season 2, episode 4. Like,
what's so fucking funny to me is I need to know, did Marcus drive him home after that, and he just had to sit there like twiddling his thumbs, like hee hee.
Yeah.
Anyways.
But also, we don't see recognition on Marcus's face that song was about Wilhelm.
I feel like we kind of do.
Arguable.
Okay, we can agree to disagree here.
Yeah.
Maybe I just hate Marcus so much that it's just like, I want him to understand that.
I think he figures it out when Simon ghosts him.
Well, yeah. He certainly figures it out when the videos of the Ghibli get posted.
But I've seen that specific clip of Marcus enough times to be like, I really do think he's just like, oh, cool, my boyfriend has a good singing voice.
Right.
And not thinking about the lyrics.
Well, we all know one person didn't think about the lyrics.
So fucking funny.
How was I supposed to know that song is about me? Babe. Babe.
The use of the like math meme in front of Wilhelm's face has been so. I want you listeners to know you would have gotten this later if as you can see we had very little to say about Felice, like time wise. So we are getting it
very short.
Yeah, I felt bad, like me personally. So I was like, this bonus episode should be moved up.
It's like a reward.
Yeah. Which gives us space for a bonus episode we're both really excited about.
I'm so excited, and I already know what I'm going to do.
Which is actually, I think, it's the first time we've actually plugged a future bonus episode in a bonus episode.
That's because it's the first time we've ever known what the next bonus episode is.
Exactly. Well, and wait, frankly, next bonus episode is going to be flawed for, Margaret has imposter syndrome. We've covered this. So we get corrections stress us both out, but like it's necessary.
It is necessary.
But after Flot, what paired with this week's Kalershka is going to be an idea that we got from a listener. Amy, I have not told you directly. I basically just said like, that's a great idea. They didn't tell you. I was just stealing it directly. We're going to talk about my top 5 favorite reaction channels. And that for Young Royals reactions, and Margaret's going to talk about their top 5 fan fictions.
Is it fan fictions or authors? Either or. I think I'm gonna have to do fan fictions because otherwise it's gonna be like 2 authors that write all 5 of them.
Right. Yeah. No. Yeah.
Okay,
I think that's fair. I think the literal DM or comment, I can't remember, was like Margaret's top 5 fanfics and your top 5 reactors.
Cool.
Yep.
We're doing the fanfics then.
Yeah. And we might have some like honorable mentions here and there too. We might not stick to 5 necessarily, but so yeah, that is what we're gonna do.
Because when have we ever stuck to anything that we say we're gonna do?
Well, yeah. Well, and it was going to be the first episode of a new type of bonus episode. It's honestly, I'm going to be real with you, kind of just a catch-all. It's called PDTA, standing for People Don't Talk About, crack. So
crack.
PDTA crack, in the sense of like crack videos or etc. Which is basically just like us having the barest prompt possible.
Which is, honestly kind of what this was. But
but
we did have
it's not
a
even,
video.
but it's not even, like related to season 3 of the show. Like it's just like
right.
we have the barest topic that like will probably extend into who even knows how long. Okay, I want to just in the name of like we will eventually hit this scene again, but it will be years from now. I guarantee it. So, what is our, and this isn't the last time we're going to be talking about season 3 before. So
this is so disrespectful.
Well,
we get teased with this. It's so fucking rude that it's not coming out until 2024. Oh
yeah, we didn't even talk about that information that was dropped in this.
In the description of this video, it says like coming 2024 or something.
Our first coming when? I think we both guessed within 2023. Like,
I was hopeful.
Well, I think, but also, I still don't think this is necessarily the case, but it could be. Like, I remember what we said our like theory based on everything was like, it would that if the release date was pushed into 2024, then we might have a flash forward at the end to get everything like in place.
I don't think we're gonna have a flash forward. It doesn't feel right.
I don't think so. It really doesn't. I think all I can just think of is there's probably more locations this season.
More locations. I don't know how long post-production takes on a show like this.
Yeah.
They have to do all the English dubs as well.
Mm-hmm. And I do not think that the SAG and WGA strikes in the US has been affecting Young Royals in the slightest, but
I don't think so.
Not really. Yeah, it's not really. Well, it's not really possible because like no one working on the show other than like Netflix executives who like are technically in charge of it are based in the US. So
yeah, I'm not prepared for the day when Netflix Nordic is no longer a Young Royals Stan account.
Yeah.
Anyways,
is there any more to this?
I don't know. We could just watch it again.
This is already so long. Okay. Oh, I already started it, by the way. I'm at 11 seconds. The way they look at each other.
It drives me a little insane. Like, it makes me wish I was allosexual.
I can't believe it either. I know I said that probably early in this episode, but...
I can't believe the amount of layers fancy people wear. Because he's wearing a button-down, a sweater, and a, like, suit jacket situation. I'd be sweating my ass off.
Oh, something we didn't really mention is the subtitles are different in the 6-second clip and the and in this one.
Yeah, this one it says it's not how I dreamed it, and the other one is it's not how I imagined it.
Honestly, it's possible. Maybe these are probably the more legit subtitles, but. It also could be, based on what we know about the show, based on what we've done, is that it could be a English versus English closed captions thing. Yeah. So, but usually they're not that far apart.
No, they're really not.
So, I think it kind of depends on how literal you want to go, probably, or something. But
I guess we'll see in 2024.
Yeah, or Swedish people tell us which
people tell us, get us
which of the subtitles were more accurate.
Yeah, get us in the DMs. Which translates more accurately?
Yeah, which won't really be able to read your DMs on pod necessarily because Flots is non-spoilery.
No, but I'll just know in my heart.
Yeah, we'll know.
It'll make me feel better.
And we'll know for like multiple years from now when we finally cover this scene for real.
Because we'll definitely remember from,
Yeah.
now.
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, totally. Do you want to take us out, Margaret?
I'd love to. Mostly because I'm gonna go watch this again by myself. Alright. Thank you for listening. If you'd like to keep up to date with when we release new episodes and other pod-related announcements, you can check out our Instagram at People Don't Talk About. We can't say what our next episode will be because this is a bonus. We can. It's
Well, yeah. I really wrote this outro when I didn't think we'd be planning one of the bonuses come out this meticulously, but that's on me.
It's Sarah, isn't it?
Yes. Our next episode is going to be Sarah's character episode.
All right, Sarah's character episode. And with that, all that's left to say is...
Yeah, well, what Margaret just skipped over is listen to the end of the previous episode, regular episode, to find out what's coming next, which we did say at the end of Felice's episode, so it's...
That is still true, but also it's Sarah.
Yep.
Alright, so with that, all that's left to say is... Let's start a revolution, baby.